No!
Jack Brooks' Monster Slayer is one of those movies where I saw a still image online randomly and it looked so freaking cool I had to put it on my watch list. And I know movies like that are often traps where they end up being boring as hell and the image you saw is the best shot of the entire movie. Jack Brooks' Monster Slayer came out in 2007. It is a Canadian monster film about our protagonist Jack, who accidentally awakens some sort of evil spirit that turned his professor, played by Robert Englund, yes, Freddy Krueger himself, into a monster. And when said monster finally takes form, it is a total blast. But unfortunately, that only occurs in the final 25 minutes of this thing. Everything leading up to that is a lot of explanations, to which I think this movie would probably work better as a prequel. The movie starts with seemingly two prologues, one of which were in this tribe we don't really know when or where, and a few minutes later we get a flashback to set up the main character. Now, this isn't inherently an issue, but the character they set up in the first 5 minutes is completely different from the character we end up following for the entire movie. He has an anger issue which spawned from his childhood trauma, and that's his whole character. The arc the writer decides to take is an arc that should happen way before the movie ever started, and where it ends in the film really should be the beginning of the film. That's what I meant when I said this movie would work better as a prequel. It feels like an essay written by the writer to flesh out his character on the actual screenplay. The setup for the character is abandoned to follow something else because it was there looking for empathy from the audience rather than fleshing out the character and the story. So as a result, the majority of the runtime of this film was bogged down by a lot of counseling sessions where Jack Brooks expresses how angry he is all the time and relationship drama that you don't really give a shit about. The actor playing Jack, he's not very good or ideally cast in this case. I don't think he sold that wrath and regret in the character well, and there are a lot of scenes that require him to go to those places, but it just felt flat in general. Jack Brooks' Monster Slayer can be a very fucking awesome movie. It has a hint of Spielberg and Men in Black, and the music composed by Ryan Shore is very exciting. That's very reminiscent of 80s pop culture, and when the monster Jack Brooks is supposed to be slaying finally appears, the film became 100% more exciting. The practical effects on this are amazing. Most of it are done in camera, and I love the design of this thing. I mean, just look at this. It's fucking glorious. This is about the last 25 minutes of the film where all hell breaks loose, and it's what I wanted for the entire movie to be. It might be a budgeting issue, but the film had almost $2 million behind it, and a lot of good horrors have less than that but are significantly more entertaining via both script and spectacle. It might also be a management issue where they spent all of their money on the final battle and everything else they're just saving their energy bar money on set to save some more money. But they somehow didn't have the extra thought or money, could be both, to put more students in the school. Every time the characters are in school, there's no one there except for this one class. I know they're in kind of like a night school, but night schools don't open just for one class. I think everyone can accept that. The entire school is always empty every time we're here, and it just felt a bit off. While I really enjoyed the final 25 minutes of the movie, at one point Jack starts just fist fighting the monsters out of nowhere, and I was like, come on, he's not a superhero, okay? Anyone who's encountering shit like this, they will not drop their weapon and have a fist fight like a good one. They went a little bit overboard with that. Now, of course, you can say, no. The monster is not the literal monster. It's the monster of the mind Jack is fighting. Yeah, they still did a fairly poor job at fleshing that out. So, overall, Jack Brooks' Monster Slayer is very fun in the final act. Everything leading up to that, I'll rather fast forward. It is surprisingly competently helmed throughout, too. I'm thinking a decent C+ on this one. What do you think? It's on Vimeo, by the way.